Let's talk advanced tips for advanced users using the Steam Deck. Number one is power profiles. Everybody knows that the Steam Deck's battery life isn't really that great. With the model that I have here, the non-OLED model, the LCD model, battery life is somewhere between 2 to maybe 2.5, 3 hours. And that is solely based off the game that I'm playing. Now, to maximize your battery life, you're going to want to dip into your power profiles. With the Steam Deck, all of this is customizable. Go into the quick access menu. There's a power section. I do recommend you go ahead and use the per game profile. But under this is where you can customize a lot of things like the frame rate. You can adjust the refresh rate. Now with the LCD models, it's really just 60 and under. With the OLED models, it does have a refresh rate of 90. You can allow tearing. You can even do half shading. What you really want to pay attention to is your TDP, your thermal power limit, and your wattage. Those two right there is going to really impact how much battery you're saving, how much power is being put out. Of course, this heavily depends on the game that you're playing. If you're playing a less demanding game, then you can tweak some of these settings to help save more battery power. Now, if you're playing a more demanding game, like Call of Duty for instance, it's best to just let everything stay the same. I heard in Cyberpunk you can actually knock everything down to 40 hertz per second and frames per second without giving up too much stability. Now the second tip that I can give you guys is to use Cryo Utilities. And you might ask, what is Cryo Utilities? It's an app that uses the Linux operating system that the Steam Deck is built onto. Lets the users tweak settings at a very low level with even more precision and assets that even Windows has. If you're interested in installing Cryo Utilities, I will make another video detailing on how to actually install this. The third advanced tip that I have for you guys is to use Proton GE. Now this version of Proton is different from the other versions you've heard of. This one uses different properties, and I can't really go into much about it because of legal reasons. Just know that some titles that don't work on regular Proton can work on Proton GE. And this is for offline titles. Do not try to use this on an online multiplayer type game. That is your disclaimer. Using this on an online version of any game can get you banned. This doesn't mean that Proton GE is for every game in your library. Just kind of test it here and there with certain games that you can't get to work with regular Proton. Now to install this is very easy. Go to your Discover app and look up Proton Up-QT. This utility is going to help you download Proton GE. From there, you just go ahead and download the latest version of Proton GE. Now the next advanced tip that I have for you is just to hold the Steam button. This brings up a quick access menu to all the different button layouts for Steam. So many different shortcuts to learn. But one I use a lot is the brightness up and down. It sure come in handy. And the next one is it's an advanced tip, but at the same time it's widely known by everybody who has a Steam Deck by now, and that is Decky Loader. I mentioned this plugin on all of my Steam Deck mod videos. Leave a like for part 2 of the advanced series.